Hello, I'm Eileen Roach, founder of Designs and Machine Embroidery, and thank you for joining me today on this episode of Between Friends. I have a special guest who's going to be joining me today, and we're going to talk, well, she has some samples that is just going to wow you. Really beautiful samples of embroidery, specialty techniques, and, some common things that we do all the time, like blending colors and so forth. We're going to talk eventually about skin tone and how to get details on different colors of skin tones, from light complexions to darker complexions. So I'm awful excited to bring her in today. So many of you are signing in and saying, I love Zandra, and hello from Virginia, and welcome. We're so thrilled to have you here. So let's go ahead and welcome Zandra Shaw. Hi, Zandra. How are you?
Hey, Eileen. I'm great. Thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing really well. I did a little digging to see just how far back we go. And we found two magazine articles that you wrote. So this dates back to volume 65, which is quite a long time ago. And in this issue of the magazine, you did this beautiful Christmas table setting. How lovely, Zandra.
Yes, that was a long time ago, but I still adore that set, Eileen.
Yeah, you did the cut work on the placemats. You have the freestanding flowers, the poinsettias, the napkin rings, the candle ring. Just stunning. And of course, those adorable little stocking was a lot of work.
Yes, it's
Zandra.
a really fun little project, that one.
Yeah.
And I wish back then I have met Kingstar metallic embroidery thread, because I can tell you working without that is not fun.
Yeah, we don't like to relive all of those thread breaks that maybe we had to sit through if you were
Yes,
using Kingstar, right? And then in volume
that's correct.
66, you did this adorable kind of mimicking candy, and it looks lifelike.
Yes, that's a fun just in the hoop where you create with felt. And yeah, like you say, you're mimicking whatever you're doing. Like we also did like a felt breakfast, and that was when we were doing some felt projects. Lots of fun.
Yeah, really. And people still enjoy it today when they see these images. Here's Jean saying that's beautiful. And Janet Ensign, that's still a classic. And Ivy
Thank you.
Daughtery, she has that issue. Well, they're keepers. I mean,
Oh,
they're timeless, right? So many of you.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I know that you have been so you got started. You were really an artist. Your sister's a digitizer, but you tell me that your skills really kind of overlap and kind of blend, right?
Yes, that's correct. So Eileen, it all actually started, uh, just playing around with the embroidery machines, really making small little things like baby gifts and stuff. And then we got to a point where we decided, well, we don't see the stuff we would like to make, and that's where it actually started. Like, if you look at a project, it's really not one person that did that project. It's like from start to finish, the design part, the digitizing part, the stitch out, the instructions, which is a very big part of what we do, the videography on stuff. So that's all done in-house by 4 people, which happen to be my mom, dad, me, and my sister.
So you are a family, a small business that's run by a
Yes.
family. All of you are wearing many hats, right?
Yes, that's correct. That's
I
correct.
know. And it's not easy. I know that. So I applaud your efforts and your results. I mean, what you offer to the public is absolutely beautiful. I've always admired
Thank you, Eileen.
the artistic skill that you have, and the digitizing is flawless. So I
Thank
know
you.
that, yeah, you're very welcome. I know you have a lot of beautiful samples to share. And, of course, you're sitting in a room full of beautiful stitch outs. But you also made a
Yes,
PowerPoint to share so they can get a closer look, correct?
that's correct. So, Eileen, I'm just going to tell them, for those who don't know the embroider shop by now. At the embroider shop, we try to do different type of embroidery designs, something that are out of the box. We love patches, and we've got a very unique way of using patches. I know Diamond's got a fantastic product called Patch Attach, and specifically when we're making patches, we are using this. Um, People call me by the nickname Miss Fancy Pants because I adore embroidery on jeans. And I've got many photos of people that actually took photos of my legs at events. And when they put it on Facebook, I'm so embarrassed for the way I actually posed for these photos. But we love the patches. So the great thing about the way we are doing patches, Eileen, is that we did not take the seams out of this jean. And
Mhm.
I know that you know the thing is that how many embroiderers do take the seams out and they just do not uh, put it back into place. So this was another one. We did this specific jean pattern for the Babylock Solaris 2 launch, and it's a lot of fun, these patches. We also love 3D type of embroidery. We love to combine organza designs or fabrics. We love evening type of fabrics, of course, and we love metallic threads. And Kingstar is absolute best on the market. So the other thing we totally love is continuous lace making, and it's beautiful. You can do it on organza, you can do it on soft tulle, and of course, with continuous embroidery, we love to use the magnetic hoops because it makes it so much easier to work with these designs. We are into flower making big time. Actually, this is how we got on the map, I would say. In 2013, we did our first tour to the United States and we went to Houston International Quilt Festival. Well, our whole booth was just full of flowers and they look so lifelike that people would tell you they smell lovely. So we love to make these flowers and we are trying to mimic them that they look like the exact flower. My mom is a botanist and she's like really into getting these flowers so we make them to perfection. So that's one of our big passions at the embroider shop is making 3D flowers.
You know, those samples, they really do appear to be lifelike. I mean, when the when those lilies came up, you really have to look close. And maybe your first clue is there's no water in the vase to tell you that it's
Yes.
fabric and thread.
They really do look lifelike. I mean, we were laughing sometimes. You know, at the one show, a lady was standing at the St. Joseph lilies, and she said she could not come near because they give her a headache. And, you know, you just smile because this is okay. This is a headache-free zone. You can come on over. So it's fun. And I mean, the threads
Oh.
we use. Another very interesting technique that we do, Eileen, is the iron-on applique technique. Later on, we're going to talk about skin tones. But the thing is that with these techniques, you can actually have smaller hoops and you can literally break out of the hooped in feeling of machine embroidery and you can create much larger designs. And this technique I'm very proud of because what you basically do is you do some part of the embroidery onto your base. You create some patches, and once you assemble it, they become gigantically big. This is the African ladies, which we absolutely love. In this specific technique, we absolutely use the patch attach as well. Oh, and I'm just pulling up some samples of perfect appliques. In the applique, we love to use products like you've got the Fuse Me. That's the secret of the perfect applique. And these are just delightful. We do a lot of applique designs. And of course, we are loving organza and always use some 3D with some flat embroidery, mix some mediums, and we just love to do 3D type of things. But I think something very fabulous actually was born in the end of last year, and we call it the Hoop Fun Club. Now, the Hoop Fun Club is not an embroidery collectors club. Like usually you would sign up for a club, you get X amount of designs every month. This is totally focused on education. And what we do inside the Hoop Fun Club is to teach people how to use the product, how to use the features on their machines, and make the most of their creative abilities. I'm passionate about teaching people how to really use their machine as a craft tool instead of just an embroidery machine. And my mission is to take them the shortest route and really help them to be successful. So the Hoop Fun Club is what this is all about. That is me and my sister Mila. And
Oh, she's
we
beautiful.
kind of
You're both so beautiful.
thank you. We kind of well, I think they made us look better than in real life, but I just love this cartoon. So in the Hoop Fun Club, each month what you get is you get one project which is focused on machine features. It's something new every month. that you can learn. You will get one set of beautiful designer embroidery designs plus edge to edge, which I will talk about just now. So for January, we did these organza mandalas. Beautiful. You can take an old jacket and you can really just zhuzh it up. Our designer set was the raw edge flower doodles, and people really love this. Eileen, you should see the quilts that people made out of these designs.
Oh.
It
Okay, so tell
amazing.
me a little bit. So Hoop Fun Club, a new month appears on the 1st. Is that correct? Is that when the release is
Yes,
of the
Eileen,
project?
yes. Every first of the month, they can log into the Hoop Fun Club and the new month releases is available. Each month will be one project. Everything comes with video tutorials where I teach them step by step everything. It comes with written instructions that they can print out, color charts, you name it, it's all there. And also they get the designer set of designs. And the fun thing about this is that we offer this for smaller hoops, as small as 6x8, going up to the 9.5 by 14. So if you do not have the bigger hoop yet, you can absolutely join this club and be part of the fun in the Hoop Fun Club.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So,
they must look forward to it every month.
Yes. Now, Eileen, you're very good at quilting within the hoop of the embroidery machine. I mean, Diana's got this fabulous weightless quilter, how you can make it easier, the bulk of your piece you're working on, working with the embroidery machine. Diana's got this fabulous magnetic hoops, and this is just fun. You get 4 different sizes in the pattern, and you get 2 different patterns each month. So you are collecting these patterns, and we do have wonderful videos on showing you how to do it manually if you do not have the camera function. If you do have a camera function, how to use your camera function. And then we do have some other videos of settings that you can use to make it easier on your machines. For February, obviously one of my favorites, I love this bunny. We had this beautiful bunny. We had apricot birds, which people also did beautiful samples. And I saw a few quilts on this one. Absolutely beautiful. The edge to edge was just fun bees and some butterfly designs. This is probably also one of my favorite techniques because it's a double-sided fabric rose, and you can think of the possibilities playing with fabrics. We all have that stashes full of fabrics, and how are you going to use this? This is a fun way to make them double-sided.
Let me stop you for a minute. First off, Stephanie H says, beautiful bunny, adorable bunny. And I agree. I love that bunny. And you know what's so cool about that bunny? It's all about the negative space, right? That heavy quilting you put surrounding the bunny. And that's what, of course, there's probably an extra layer of batting, but that's what lifts it up and gives it all that depth. It's so cool. But these, okay, so these roses, now each petal is 2-sided and made in the hoop. How's that work?
That's correct. So once again, Eileen, we're going to bring in a magic product, and you've got the patch attached, which is a heavier weight. So you're going to rely on this product. So before you start with this flowers, you basically take your fabric and you're going to fuse them together so that you've got a double-sided, nice, thick. I do have a tip for using the patch attached with your embroidery machine, because usually I would never ever use the patch attached on my embroidery machine. I would much rather use a lighter product like Fuse Me, but with this specific, I understand very well how to protect your machine using with a heavyweight fusible webbing on the machine by taking the back paper of it that you fused and put it underneath your hoop. So that's a fabulous tip once you are working with. It almost creates like a canvas type of fabric once you fuse it together. And this is what makes this roses stand proud. And it's fabulous to work with a double-sided fabric effect with your embroidery machine.
And so then because it's stiff, then you can form it and give it that shape. Is that what causes them to roll and so forth? Yeah.
Yes. So what actually causes them to roll, the reason why you're fusing the fabric together is because then your petals don't bubble up, right? So they are like fused like in one piece. But what also helps is that because you are hooping your hoop with a water-soluble stabilizer, adding your fabric on top of the water-soluble stabilizer. So what happens is that the solvay gets behind the back layer of it. And then when you submerge it into water and it dries, it gives you the ability to roll them, to shape them, and that's what makes them so perfect.
Okay, so Sandra, Kathleen Hammond wants to know, if they sign up now, do they get the previous month's projects? How's that work?
So what happens is there's two options to sign up, Eileen. You sign up for an annual membership or you sign up for a monthly membership. So annual membership runs from January 2021 up until December 2021. And then the new year will start on the 1st of January of 2022. So it doesn't matter if you are purchasing in March or in June, you have got access from January up until December, so you do not miss out on anything. The other great thing about this club is that in July, we give them a bonus set, which is incredible value. So annual members do receive this incentive for signing up for the year, but if it's a little bit steep for the pocket, we do have the monthly option where you can join in, but then you are just joining in from the month you are going forward.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Sounds like you have answered their concerns, and it most certainly sounds like it has a lot of value, which is what we want, right? We want to be able to get our money's worth, and it sounds like you completely spoil everyone in the Hoop Fun Club. That's awesome. Oh, look at these. Aren't these fun?
These are fun. So what is interesting about these designs, this is a massive pack of 40 designs, Eileen, because you get them in two different hoop sizes, but you get the option to make them into colorworks or into variegated. Now, if you look at the of the screen, at the left bottom, you will see that the giraffe is what we call colorworks, where you can choose what colors. And I always tell people, go to Pinterest and search for certain color palettes, because that'll give you a wonderful idea of which colors really blends well. But if you look at the little deer at the top, you will see that that is the variegated thread. So this is a fun set where you can play around with thread types, either having your own choice or use the variegated thread. This is a nice way to use variegated thread because there's little parts in the design, so it's kind of like not getting out of control where you have a part that's too much red or too much yellow. It works out really well with variegated thread. And then, of course, the edge to edge for March. Oh, and April. April's probably one of my favorites as well. I love to make these padded hangers. These are the wooden hangers, and we embroidered them. They are completely in the hoop. Basically, you will make the two sleeves, you will pop them onto the hanger, the padded hanger, and you will finish them. So this is fun to make in the hoop. They are beautiful. The cornflowers are so adorable. This is a fun technique of fringing. I've seen the most beautiful samples on Facebook. Eileen, you should see it. The one lady made a pillow, and they were just like tones of gold. Instead of green for the leaves and stuff, she used gold instead, and she played around with different colors of purple. I'm totally amazed how creative people use these on cards, on a lot of things. So they are fun. So you do get a set of 10 fringe cornflowers in 10 different designs, but we also got the option of the full stitch flat embroidery, so you can play around with this. So this is a fantastic set of 21 different cornflowers, and cornflowers comes in so many colors that you can absolutely play around with them. We did a little bit 4th of July already for the quilters to have that little touch of patriotic feeling for the edge to edge for April. And of course, it comes in 4 sizes as well, each pattern. But look at what's coming in May. This is a new technique we just actually started. I've never used it in this way in the sequence we are doing this, but it's basically parts that you've got, they are lined as well, and you can play around with fabrics to your heart's desire in using this 3D technique. Our May designs for the value pack for the designs is going to be flowers in these vases with the vinyl. Just beautiful. So that is how far we are for the Hoop Fun Club. And I'm telling you, each month it's getting better and bigger.
Yeah. And so Eddie or Edie wants to know, what's the annual cost of the membership?
So the annual cost of the membership is $300 for the complete year. Now think about this, Eileen, what you are getting each month. The value in the year is about a $1,500 if they would collect this. But like I said, this is not a collectors club. This is an educational club. And I like to stress that part more because it's more about the how to do it than it is about what they're collecting. But they are getting great value for people that do not
Oh, it looks like
sign up for the annual club. There's the option of signing up for the $30 per month to make it more affordable. But those that are paying the $300, guess what? In July, they get $300 for free with our value bonus pack that they get. And those are seasonal designs. So, I mean, this is just incredible value. And they can visit us at the hoopfunclub.com. This is where they can read more. They can see what's going on. They can see more about our family and see more about what's going on at the Hoop Fun Club.
You know,
but I'm not sure
really,
if you...
It really is a great value, Zandra, because, you know, I mean, that's less than $30 a month. And, you know, they have the confidence in your digitizing skills because you have a, you know, a reputation that is very valuable. And
Yes.
people know that when they buy from you an embroidery design, it's going to stitch out beautifully. And isn't that our biggest fear? You know, you spend money and time
Yes.
and your supplies to stitch something else out, and if it's not what you had hoped, it's very disappointing. So, you know, $30 a month, just, you know, that's cheaper than 4 trips to Starbucks. Who can't, right?
That's right.
That,
I think the other great thing that they get with this club, Eileen, is they get the personal attention of a monthly webinar, and I've got the option of the Wednesday or the Saturday. So they really get us in this. They can ask us questions. They can really, you know, talk to us. And it's not like they buy something and then they don't have access to, you know, all the people that's doing this, right?
Mm-hmm. So Retha Ranke wants to know, do you keep the tour? Do they have access to the tutorials forever, or does, you know, what happens at the end of the subscription?
Yes. So one of the things that I feel very strongly about, I know that sometimes people will ask you, well, how long will the video be on? I always tell people life happens and your hobby should not be something to worry about. That's why we keep those videos on forever. They can download them onto their computer so they can have access even without internet access. But let's say they have signed up for 2021 and now they go on to 2022. They will always have access to 2021 because sometimes you might not be able to do a certain project, but next year you feel like doing last year, May. You've got access. It's yours. Watch it at any time. And that is how it works at the Hoop Fun Club.
Okay, then Stephanie H wants to know, if we try out the monthly, can we then, and love it in caps, can we then convert it to an annual membership?
Yes, absolutely. There's many people that tried that's telling me that, and I'm happy to tell you that they all eventually do convert to the annual club because they all want that bonus pack in July. So they convert. Definitely.
Great.
So yeah, if she would like to try it out to see what it's all about, to see the teaching style, she's more than welcome to do it that way.
Great. You know, Zandra, I'm not sure we didn't have this conversation, but I think maybe you know my friend Isabelle Chaplin from France.
I do absolutely adore Isabelle. I'm one of her vendors at Creates Embroidery Machine.
Right. So she's just is thrilled to see you and I together, and I just wanted to give a shout out to her. Isabelle.
Hi, Isabelle.
She's Dime's European distributor, and so if you are watching from across the pond, then she is your resource for Dime product. She carries everything.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, we love Isabelle. She's done an awful lot for our business, and we hope we have served her well also. Okay, so what's next?
So what's next is the concept of the Hoop Fun Club worked very, very well, right? And people love it because they get the value, they learn step by step. And, you know, sometimes you spot something in the market that's missing. And one of the things that was missing, Eileen, is actually that people have been telling us that they don't know how to use their sergers. So when we discovered that people do not, well, I've got a solution for you, Eileen. And not that I believe you that you don't know how to use the serger. But since the Hoop Fun Club was such a great hit, we decided to bring in my friend, my very special friend, Lori Hernandez, which is also happened to be a baby lock educator and we created the next fun club, and it's called the Search Fun Club. So we had people smiling for a while, telling them something's going to get out of the box. And actually what was inside of the box was my beautiful friend, Laurie Hernandez. And she's going to teach people by her side the endless possibilities of using their Serger. And I have to tell you that Laurie is one of the best educators I've ever seen. She's so patient. She just have a way to work with people, and she's got a way with words. I absolutely adore her style. And she's got, I always want to tell people you could put up hundreds of samples in the room and I'll be able to tell you which ones was Laurie's, because she's got a signature style which is fabulous, right?
I can too. I know her samples from across the room. She is extraordinary.
Yes, and it's beautiful. Yes, and absolutely, Laurie is so in love with the dime threads for the Serger. So that's definitely something she will be sharing with the people in the club. So she's going to teach them tips and tricks, and she's going to, very important, help them to use their sergers beyond the usual construction stitch, right? I think people just think that a serger is used to just go for it and straight stitch. Laurie's going to change that, people. Just look at the fabulous April project. And, oh, Eileen, you should see inside these clubs. The people are posting. I saw at least 10 of the most beautiful bags, such happy bags. People are nailing it because Laurie's videos is so fantastic. And the thing is that we are combining embroidery with serger and a bit of sewing inside of this club. So the first month project is the little bag. Now, at first we had one tutorial in there for the bigger hoops, and later on we realized that there is a huge gap in the market because the smaller hoops also want to use it with their sergers. So I'm happy to tell you that we are now, from smaller hoops up until the large hoops, whenever there is a project that is done in the larger hoop, Laurie will tell them how to be able to use the smaller hoops, or either have an extra sewing tutorial with that to actually get the same results. So that's another thing that I just want to mention. Every month, they are going to receive one pack of embroidery designs and a very special project created by Laurie. Of course, the embroidery designs will be from the EmbroiderShoppe, so you know that the quality will be very good.
So when you
if you sign up,
when you join the Serger Club, you also get embroidery designs, right? Every month?
Yes,
wow.
Yes, absolutely.
What a value.
Every month you will get one pack of embroidery designs plus the project of Laurie. And Laurie is going to really build up the skills, So if you are, we actually want the people that are scared in this club, because this is where we are going to overcome your fear. So I don't want you not to participate because you don't know how to use the serger. This is for you, right? This is what's going to take you by the hand, and it's going to teach you how to make the most of your serger. Of course, we've got the soles because we all love Sew My Soles. I'll talk about that later on a bit. There is a free serger project on the Sew My Soles, and that is available for members that are signing up annually. That's a gift for them for signing up. Laurie will teach you how to make some serger shoes. Isn't this fun, Eileen?
So fun. Absolutely. Who doesn't want to wear them, right?
Yes, that's right. So, and the great thing about them is that no two pairs in this world is ever going to look the same. It's going to be truly unique once you've created for yourself. So you can see these amazing serger projects that will be coming every month. And Laurie is so good with her creative skills, combining, different techniques, using them in a creative way. She's got an amazing way of thinking different about fabrics and accessories than anyone else. So if you are interested in joining Laurie and becoming part of the Search Fun Club family, it's easy. You go to searchfunclub.com. That's it. So join Laurie at the Search Fun Club and see what it's all about. Go and see that little videos.
So Sandra,
yes.
Lynn Mooney wants to know, is a fancy serger needed, or will a basic 4-thread serger work in this class?
That's a great question, Ms. Lynn. So a 4-thread serger will absolutely work. If you've got one of the bigger high-end machines, absolutely, it's for everyone from a 4-thread up until the 8-thread. And if you've got a basic serger, Laurie will show you creative ways. maybe she adds something extra in for you to achieve the same results than someone with the fancy machine. So if you
Okay.
only have a 4-thread, you're fine. Laurie's got your back.
Great. That's awesome. Thank you for that
So
clarification.
I'm always almost done about talking about us over here, Eileen. I just quickly want to mention to those that are watching today that we offer free weekly webinars. It's a lot of fun. It's my favorite thing to be in the classroom once a week and really teach them to work with different types of fabrics, how to use products in a different way that they probably never used. They all know me. I will push you in the fabric aisle that you've never visited. I'm going to make you cut up some old prom dresses and your mama's coat, perhaps, because I'm going to make you use it in a new way. So we always have fun webinars weekly. I'm just showing this is an old one, but it's just an image to show. Each week we are doing something, and the little project I'm doing is absolutely free. You get the instructions, you can watch the video again, and become part of this really great movement we are doing by teaching people how to be successful with machine embroidery. If they don't know our Facebook group yet, I'll talk about the shoes just for a second over here. Why our group's name? You can see it's a group by the EmbroiderShoppe, but it's called Sew My Souls. And this is where we actually started back in August. After being from in-store hands-on classes, Eileen, we started doing the virtual events. And this is actually the shoe that opened the way for me with virtual events. And that is why this group is called Sew My Souls. So if you want to be in the happiest place on earth, happier than Disneyland, you join the Sew My Souls group. And every day when you wake up, you are going to see tons of inspiration of people stitching out the things of the Hoop Van Club, people stitching out samples from what they've done in the free weekly webinars. So that is our little Facebook group where you can join us and find us. We will talk later about the Quilt Nation. Eileen, you've got some samples. We're going to talk about that. We've got a really nice deal if you are interested in the designs that you can combine it with a course where you get a pair of shoes. That's a quilted shoe that you're going to make in the hoop. I will give you the webinar live with that, and you receive this big Quilt Nation applique set. We will ship out the soles to you. So that is the package deal that we've got available if you are interested in stitching out. We're going to talk more about the thread just now and how amazing you can use these threads in the specific set. So we'll talk about that later. That's just to show the Sew My Souls, how we ship it out, how you will create your own shoes. And that is the Quilt Nation set that we're going to talk about in just a minute. And this is our Sew My Soul. I just told you that this was the beginning of our, and this is actually for me, it's got a lot of emotional value, this shoes, because it was quite something to get this started and start teaching virtually. So this is a fun in the hoop type of quilt shoe that you can make. That's just some shoes that I'm showing you of the Sew My Souls, and they can get all of the information on the Facebook group for Sew My Souls. Look at those, all the fabrics,
Oh,
lots
how
of
fun.
fun.
How fun. You know, there's a really big segment of the American population, and probably in Europe too, who love custom sneakers, and they spend thousands of dollars on them. Well, here we can do custom espadrilles, right? And everybody has their own, design their own, put
Yes.
whatever they want on them. That's really cool. I like that.
That's right. And I mean, you don't have to put on them what we are putting on them. I mean, there's so many. Look at this daisy shoes. I mean, there's so many patterns you can do on these shoes. And look at these for those of you who like the sugar skulls. This is fun,
Wow,
right?
how
Sugar,
fun. And you
lots
know,
of
the
fun.
right
It's the same.
and the right foot doesn't have to match the left foot.
No, there's no rules. There's absolutely no rules. The color don't have to match. You can really just do whatever you want to do. So that's the fun Sew My Soul's shoes. And then
Awesome.
one last thing I just want to tell them, Eileen, we've got a fun project going, and it is called the Quilt Puzzle of the United States. This is one of the ladies that went really far with it. So I'm just showing it's not done yet. But basically, you will be downloading all of the United States. You will prepare these appliques in a freestanding way, and Laurie is going to do this very special webinar on how to assemble this. I'm also thinking of, quickly making this state quilt in the way that I did that 4th of July project on the 3D way. If people like teachers want to make some of these to teach children how to put this puzzle of the United States together. So this is a lovely project that anyone can join. They can download the designs. It's absolutely free, and they can quilt along actually, or do this puzzle of this quilt along with these appliques. It's free. I think we should share some state love and make the United States and build it as a puzzle. That's one of my favorite things. So that's just a fun thing that I wanted to tell them about.
And a big project like that has almost 50 appliques, because I see this one has several states in the one applique. That's a great way to hone your skills, because by the time when you start on state number 1, if you're a little green, you're going to follow her steps. But by the time you get to the end of that, you are really going to have some expert skills, and you'll take those skills with you forward in your hobby always.
That's right. So that's just a fun project, and I think you can make it very special. I've seen a lady that did not put the hearts in all the states. She's making it only putting the hearts in the states that she actually lived in. So there's so many fun ways that you can make this special. You can add extra names and stuff. That's a lot of fun.
Your family is, you have family in different states, so you just put a heart in the state where family is. That's great. I love that.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Very well done.
Right, I'm done with that PDF from my side.
Okay, well, you did a fabulous job. So why don't I just tell you, we always have a commercial break, right? So today's product that we are featuring is skin tone threads. And, because Zandra has such a fantastic artistic talent, I thought she would be the proper guest to come on and talk about how we get realistic, facial recognition in stitches. So I just want to explain that these 12 threads are really a basic combination. It's a 12 pack of a collection of thread that could literally be 60 spools deep, from very, very dark to very, very light. And it's all about how you layer the colors and, work with, just like makeup, foundation, highlight, shading, blush, all of that. So do you want to share your slides, or shall we take a look at the overhead of some of the samples that we've stitched?
Sure, let's first look at the samples.
Okay, great. So first off, over here, these are our 12 colors that you can see. And, they do have darks, medium, and light. And, well, we're going to get into some of those details in a little bit. But here's our samples. Now, this is from Zandra's Quilt Nation. So here, these ladies are all quilties, quilty ladies. Here, this one is at her sewing machine, and over here, she's holding her quilt, and this lady with a bolt of fabric and a tomato pin cushion. I love the digitizing is fabulous. This hair it's gorgeous. Zandra, you did a beautiful job on that. But notice that, it's the contouring of the threads that creates some shading, even though it's all one color, except for a little bit of blush and some details on the nose and up above in the brow, not the eyebrow, but the brow. Same thing with this lady, the one with the beautiful Hispanic flower in her hair. So again, it's kind of the digitizing skills of Zandra, but it is the use of those colors that really bring this to life. And here we have applique hair, but again, you did some blush, some outline of the nose, and it's those kind of things that really let the thread pop off of the fabric. So why don't we take a look at your slides, because you did a really good job on talking about how how the threads work, just like makeup.
Sure. Yes, Eileen. So I think the most important thing that people need to think about when they think about skin color is that it's actually basically the same rules that goes for painting or for coloring. You're basically going to use 4 colors, and you already mentioned that you've always got a base color. Like in makeup, it's your foundation. Then you've got a blush color. Then you've got like the highlighter, and then you've got like the shading on a face. Now, I have to tell you that color is not an easy thing especially when it gets to skin color, because like, let's say you go for a darker skin, you can very easily start losing the details on the face if you go too dark. So it's kind of like it's you really have to look at it from an artistic eye to get the right dimensions on a face. What I love about this basic set that you put aside is this is going to equip people to really do the basics of skins. Well, I can tell you that if you've got like 400 thread spools standing over there, people are going to have a hard time to actually see which ones they can use as a highlighter, which ones they can use as the blush, and then always they just see the one pink as a blush. But once you go from pale to darker skin, your blush is going to be different. What I really like about this little set is that it gives you the option for someone with a fair skin, someone with an olive or medium skin, and then obviously to go darker. I'm just quickly, before I go on to our other sample, just want to show you, this is one of our African ladies. Now, if you look at her, you can see that the facial skin is like a lighter color than her body. This is simply because there's two reasons why we did that, because it actually fits within the picture. Because these African ladies sometimes use like a mud, like to apply it like makeup on their face. So it's realistic that they do use this as a makeup. But if I would like do her face in a much darker shade, she would not have the expression on her face. So that's the great thing, to play around with darker shades so that you can actually see the definition on the skin. So I'm going to pull up some other samples quickly to just show that to you. On the specific quilt ladies that you just showed us the samples on. Right, let me just go back to the beginning over here.
Okay.
Right.
We have someone in the audience, Diana Mullins-Atkinson, who's already ordered this set, and because she's starting to digitize little character faces of her quilting group for Christmas gifts. Here we are in April, and she's
okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yes, and now if they order this thread set, they will be all set to make this to match any of their friends in whichever skin color they would like to prepare these designs. So, Eileen, if you look at this African lady, you can see that what is interesting here, if you would have a lighter skin color, definitely you would rather do some shading to get definition. But can you see that in the specific face that we actually used highlighter in order to get the definition? So I love the set. When they look at the set on the screen, can you see that there's like pale pinks, and then you get like these like almost cream colors, which is for the paler skin, but you get the in between, which is like light brown going to orange going to dark. And this is great when you are using this. And I just want to mention, I'll show it in the next. Let me just go on to the next. And I did this to actually just show them, to make it easier for them. We are looking at 4 colors, obviously. It's the base, which we did use the beige color in this image. The blush is the Pablo pink color. And in the shade, we did use the sienna. And the shade, you can see that is her nose, right? And then the highlighter is for the ears and for the neck. And that gives you nice color balance. Eileen, I'm pretty excited about because I've never had a palette right in front of me where I could actually see all the skin. I usually had to choose between 400. And when you're using lots of thread, this is why you digitize a face that's only got one color, and then just add some, because you don't actually know if people would have like this wonderful palette like diamonds, but because if you've got a palette like that, a digitizer could actually start with one layer, doing the beige at the bottom, and then start working to really have not like one flat face, but like really have got the definition playing with the colors. I've got a brilliant idea in mind, Eileen, and I will be very happy when I send it to you to say, well, look at how you can actually be an artist with thread painting like you would color it or paint it. So for the base, you can see over here. So whenever you are doing faces, I want you to think of the 4 basics. It's base, blush, shade, and highlight. And you're going to determine in this specific face, you can see that she's got a lighter beige face. So the details on her face needs to be darker. In the previous one, you did see that the lady had a darker skin tone. So we played with highlighter in order to, so it really depends on what is the base skin color. The other thing is the lighter the skin color, the pinker the blush can go. But if you've got a darker skin color, the blush needs to go to the brown side rather than to the pink side. And this is just some ladies to show you. You can see the lady with the pink machine. She's got an extremely fair skin, and you can see that the blush is like really, really pink. And the lady on the left has got a darker skin. And can you see that we played around with some highlighter for the nose and even like some definition on her forehead, as well as the light pinkish color on her for the blush. And then here you can as well again see, I'm just going through these examples to see on the lighter skin, we use the pinker blush, and then slightly like a brownish color for the nose and parts of the ears. And then on the lady with the flower in her hair on the left, you can see that we use a slightly darker color just to define her nose, but then you can play with darker color like on her forehead just to have the contrast balance in the specific design. Same thing goes for these two ladies. The lady on with the blue with the little pin cushion, you can see that she's got a very fair skin, and pink is always a good color that goes well with the light shades. And even her nose was done in a pink color. So it really depends on what you want to achieve, right? Or how you want the end result to look. So you can really play with these designs. You could, for instance, use a soft brown as well for her nose, but in this instance, the pink did work really well to get the whole look of the lady. This beautiful lady on this side got a nice dark olive color skin, and you can see the details was done with a highlighter on her face. Over here, you can see it's two ladies that will run in. The one is in the medium, the other one is in the very pale. But I wanted you to look at the lady with the machine. Actually, Eileen, you can see that she's looking too pinkish, and that is the problem with not using the correct thread, is that you can either look super pink or you can look super pale. That's always the risk. And that's why if you've got like this wonderful color palette that you've got, you can really nail it by getting beautiful faces. And this is the same with this too. You can see the lady with the darker skin. We used some of the brown to do the details on her face. And this lady, we played with pinkish colors on the pale. So those are the ladies that I just, wanted to talk about a bit.
Beautiful. Really great example. And let's see, some of these ladies are so thankful for your digitizing. Like Diana has said, thanks for the tips on digitizing the faces, because she's the one who's making faces for her quilt group. So, these kind of tips
wonderful.
are so hard to come by. Absolutely. it isn't something that you can find a lot of information on, how to digitize a face. When I search,
I have to tell you, Eileen, if you go onto YouTube and you try to see, you can get coloring tutorials. But actually, I was like pretty amazed when you sent me the invite to say, well, we're going to work on. And I thought to myself, wow, I've never actually talked about it, although it's something that we do. But I think that is one of the hardest parts. And like I said, no one have ever addressed it, actually. So it's really fun. But I think it's a very great idea to have a set that you can put apart from the others so that you understand. I did not figure this out myself. These people knows which is medium, which is olive, which is dark. I'm just going to take this set and I can play around. I can use the highlighters. I can use the shading. I can use the blush, and I can use the base in the correct color and really achieve great results.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm so glad to have you here, Sandra. One more question from Tanya Crutcher. She wants to join the Sew My Soul group, but she has a wide foot. So do your shoes fit wide feet?
Sure. She can actually measure me, her specific foot. I have to tell you that these soles run actually bigger rather than smaller. So they are very roomy and comfort. One of my favorite things to teach is actually how to put the top part onto the base. I absolutely love to do that. And I've got really great tips in teaching them how to make it fit. So for someone with a wider foot, we are going to teach you how to put your espadrille top right on the edge and get the maximum room inside of your shoes. But we are actually getting from people that these shoes are very comfortable and they run larger rather than smaller. So you can measure your foot. You can email me through support@embroidershoppe.com, and I will be happy to assist you to tell you I do have a specific sole, although it's a flat sole that's got a wider base. So I do have soles that are wider.
That is awesome. I want to see shoe pics. I want to see people with these on their feet taking a
Yeah.
photo, like on a interesting street, like over a manhole or standing on a bridge, something fun like that. Toes in the sand, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Zandra, you have just been a delightful guest, and I know that the viewers have enjoyed meeting you if they didn't already know you, and I know you have a lot of fans in the audience today, which is awesome. So thank you for joining me. Yeah, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. Well, Eileen, thank you so much for having me. It's been I could just tell the viewers that I've been looking up at you for years. I'm almost 14 years in the industry, and I never thought that I would get to this point of sharing a screen with you. But I bet dreams do come true, and I absolutely adore what you've been doing over the years with designs in machine embroidery, what you are still doing with your live events. Love to watch your videos. So I'm absolutely honored to be here today.
Well, thank you for your kind words. And really, we started as a small business too, and we're still a small business. The definition of a big business in America is 100 employees or, $20 million, and we don't fit that bill. So it's been a long ride, and we're blessed to be in this industry, Zandra. It's a giving community, and our customers are also charitable. In fact, a lot of people embroider and enjoy this hobby so they can just give to others, right?
That's right. And I have to tell you, I agree. I can't agree with you more of being a fantastic industry. And I would like to thank everybody out there watching today, to the people that do know me, for the people that do not know me yet. This has been an incredible journey. And for me, it's more about a passion and really connecting with people. And it happened to be my job. So I'm very, very blessed and very, very lucky. I absolutely adore the people in this. Actually, the people that are watching us, the people that are following us, it's delightful.
Yes, we are very blessed. Well, Becky Berlin wants to repeat the name of the two clubs, and they are Hoop Fun Club and Surge Fun Club. Is that what it is?
That's correct. Yep. It's very easy. It's hoopfunclub.com and surgefunclub.com.
And if you missed any part of today's program, you can always watch the rebroadcast, fast forward to the part that you missed, and enjoy it again. And Zandra does have a website, which is EmbroiderShoppe, SHOPPE.com or .net?
.com. So Eileen, just a quick spelling lesson on that. People always think it's the embroidery shopper, which would possibly make more sense. But at the time when I did register my domain, I didn't put a lot of thinking in it, and it wasn't available. So I went with the EmbroiderShoppe, but I kind of like it because it's embroidery without the Y. So it's embroidery without the Y, the old-fashioned SHOPPE.com.
That's right. And embroider is a verb, and you're always working. You're always in action. So it makes perfect sense to me, for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you all, and I'll be back here next week at 1 o'clock on Thursday Central Time, and we're going to be quilting in our hoop. So looking forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching today.